First off, just wanted to say, as far as fall camp goes, it's fun being out there. I love being on our practice field with these guys. There's an energetic, positive environment that really has taken a while for us to create within our program, and really feel like we've gotten to the point where we've done that on the practice field, which really that's the key to success, is what you do each day, and that practice field has been great. It's kind of that sanctuary to go where, everything else fades away, and I really think what we've created there has really been something that's appealed to players in the recruiting process. They've watched us practice. They're able to see that the amount of parents that have already responded back about how much fun their sons are having at practice, and that's not what they normally hear. And so I think, first of all, that's been good. I think we've got a driven group, extremely driven. There's ones that are battling to keep their position. There's twos that are nipping at their heels, and a lot of places, and even the threes are pushing some of the twos. And so I think it's a driven group. I think just even looking at defensive line, there's probably 12 guys that we've kind of drawn the line of 6 and 5. Who are the guys that can get us above that line? And we feel just even at the D line, there's probably 12. And when you've got eight positions to travel with, that creates a lot of competition. And so I think if you look at our group, I think they looked at the preseason coaches poll from the NSIC. I'm not going to lie. I think that definitely stung from where we were. And I think it's added a little bit of motivation, a little chip on the shoulder. You see that every day. It's kind of, I guess I'd equate it to a professional athlete playing out the last year of his contract and really trying to prove his worth, trying to prove his value. And so, I see that in the guys. I feel the same way, I guess. I'm at the end of my contract. I know where I rank with my peers. I know there's something to prove. So the question of are we driven, I'd say absolutely. And I think it comes from the top down. And so it's been fun to see that every single day. We need to get to a winning record. That's the next milestone that we need to cross. I think realistically, if you look at it, we got 8 games against teams that are 6 and 5 or below. Man, if you can beat the teams that are 500, around 500, you can get to 8 wins. And so I think that's another big step for us, and then to continue to grow from there. So definitely, now's the time. It's not, we've kind of been in this mode in our program of we're building and we're getting it to where we want to be, and we certainly don't have our stamp on it. We certainly aren't where we want to be, but certainly we understand that there's some urgency about producing right now. Looking at position battles, just in different areas, certainly the D-line, as I mentioned, is quite a competitive group. I look at linebackers. There's a real battle behind Chris Lee and Aaron Bowl of who's going to be the 3rd and 4th guy, I think, between Billy Bieseker, Jeff Mueller, and redshirt freshman or true freshman Connor McCarthy, who's really showed up. I think that's a great battle. It's fun watching our wideouts. Those young guys are so phenomenally talented, and they haven't even played wideout before. You're watching Hunter Broughton make plays, who's never played wideout. Michael Strand make plays, who's never played wideout before. Damon Gibson out of Clinton Gracefield Beardsley, who's shown up just making a ton of plays and was a quarterback in high school. And so I think, that part's fun. I think certainly our offensive line, we've got to come up with starters 4 or 5, and then who are the backups from there. Other than that, we're feeling pretty good. I think everyone wants to know about the quarterback position. Certainly that's, they're both playing well. I think Jake has definitely proven that he's the guy that can lead the team and the team's behind. But I think Demetrius has also proved that he's battled and he's worthy to have reps in a game. And so I think that's good competition. I think it's a good position for us to be in as coaches of saying we've got to find a way to get a guy on the field that we know can get us to those benchmarks in our program. How do we do that? And I think really he creates a new type of game for us out there as far as a little bit more of a running threat. A 6'3", 215-pound guy that runs a 4.7 is definitely a threat in the run game. And so to be able to do that and do some things really gives another element that our offense has that maybe we haven't had before. Jake's running yards come from scrambling around. So certainly I think that's been a fun battle. And so I don't think necessarily the battle is who's the first guy. The battle is really how much can Demetrius do and what are we going to have him, what kind of role are we going to have him play within our offense. I will say that D-line group that's been battling out, I think they certainly, if you look, Rob Hunt has moved to coach our defensive line, and I think if you guys remember watching Rob play the inner fire that he had. He has certainly brought that to the defensive line, and so they have responded well to him coaching. They've rallied behind him, and so I think that's been a pleasant surprise of the fall camp, of just seeing that group start to gel and really be a group that's not really an Achilles heel. We feel like it's a pretty solid group, and I think overall, the big question mark is, what are we doing defensively? How's the defense coming along? I don't know if I could be more impressed with how the defense is playing. They're really handing it to the offense for the most part. And so that hasn't happened around here very often. Certainly we understand that it takes both sides of the football to be able to do that, and to have a defense that we feel pretty comfortable in and confident is certainly exciting, and really has kind of been the missing piece to our program in the last couple of years. I think that's a high possibility. We'd be playing both quarterbacks in that first game. Again, because I think Demetrius has proved that he can play winning football, and that's what we tell all our guys at every position. That's what we tell them when we recruit them. If you are above the line of where our expectations are, of where we've set those, and you can help us, the team, reach that, then we're going to find a way for you to be on the field, whether it's a package, specific situations, a series at a time, a quarter, whatever it might be. Play so well that we have to put you on the field, and he's done that. He really has, and I think that's a tribute to him, as well as Jake. They're both battling, both getting better. As far as the urgency goes, I think the difference from a year ago is last year there was this hope and excitement that we were going to be good. I think our guys really feel like after last season we are good. We came up a little short in some games that kept us away from getting that winning record task or check mark taken care of. And so I think the urgency is, we feel like confident that we're a good football team. And so I think there's more urgency that comes when the coaches in the conference in the poll kind of send you a message that they don't really think that you're at that level. And so I think that certainly creates more urgency. And for us, the real challenge is how long can we keep the chip on our shoulder? How long can we keep driven and motivated as we start to achieve some of those benchmarks and start to check off some wins? We've really talked about making a transition with our program, a transition between I, me, my approach to a we, us, and our. And I think that defensive unit has really grasped that idea. They really run with it. And it's not so much that I've got to make the play, it's we've got to make the play. And I think my confidence comes from, we had a scrimmage situation last evening, and they don't have to say it. It's not the words. You can just see they got a fire in their eye. They look at each other. They give each other that look of, hey, we need to get this done. And I think anytime you've got a team that can look each other in the eye and have that genuine, intense fire, you're in good shape. The guys want to get into a routine. They want to get into a rhythm at quarterback. And so knowing who it's going to be and what roles they're going to play, I think is settling for everybody. I think it's not a difficult thing, though, of the pace that we play. It's fast. We're trying to continue to play as fast as we can, and faster and faster and faster. And so it's not like we've got a lot of time between plays, that the quarterback is the field general that really needs to rally the troops. We just need to keep playing fast. And so I think our guys like the idea of knowing who to look for, but certainly they both are capable and competent leaders within our program, in each in different ways.
Fall camps are going pretty well, especially from the defensive standpoint. I mean, you can tell the energy level compared to the last couple of years I've been here has just been completely different. I mean, someone will make a play, and then the other 10 guys are all right around us, cheering, slapping each other's helmets, and we're all celebrating, making plays together. I mean, and then we've talked about in our defensive meetings about how we were ranked pretty low last year, and that puts a little chip on our shoulder. And you can see everybody out there wants to go out and prove everybody wrong this year, showing how we're a lot better than what we were ranked last year. And especially for the preseason polls, we were ranked pretty low, and exactly what Coach said, we have a chip on our shoulder to come out, show people what we actually are practiced and prepared to do, and shock the world.
Like they said, we're pretty low in the poll, which is a big chip on our shoulder, but we're just going to let our play do our talking, because I don't think the teams that we play are ready to handle us as a good team. And I think everyone around this campus knows that we're a pretty good team, so we're really excited for the season. I think there's always something you can get better at, even the little things. But right now, I think our group is just focused on the younger guys coming in. They're really talented, like Coach Laqua said, and I think they have a lot of potential in this year or their upcoming years. So I think we're just trying to lead them, show them the ways, how they can get better quickly, and how they can see the field.